I love it. At this point, he deserves it. Bart, give me one for Chicago. We'll see the Bears tomorrow night in the Hall of Fame game.
Well, listen, I know Matt Eberflus, is expecting to have a, bounce-back season. The team finished well, but I believe that this team is going to finish fourth within the division. I think we're really overlooking the firepower that the Minnesota Vikings have, a rookie quarterback struggling, trying to finish strong. In their last 8 games, they have the Lions twice, they have Green Bay twice, they have Seattle, San Francisco. That is a tough schedule for any rookie, especially finishing in the dog days of winter.
The Bears play.
Okay, that is a juicy take. They go on and just talk about other random nonsense stuff like the Hall of Fame game and stuff like that. So I just want to focus on this take more than anything. Caleb Williams and the Bears will finish last in the NFC North. Now, before I kind of give my opinion, I do want to ask you guys straight up, especially Chicago Bears fans, what do you think? Do you think that this is a fair assessment, a realistic expectation of the Chicago Bears? Because it seems like when Caleb Williams first got to Chicago, there was a mega hype, right? And there still is obviously mega hype, but you had a lot of people come out and say the Bears are going to be instantly good. Yeah, people like Nick Wright from First Things First saying that they can make the Super Bowl and all this type of stuff. And when I've made videos discussing that, to my surprise, and I even did a couple polls, a lot of Chicago Bears fans were like, hey, we're excited, believe Caleb Williams is going to be great, but not just yet. This team is going to take a minute or two to bake. And it seemed like a lot of Chicago Bears fans' expectations were not making the playoffs or close to making the playoffs or maybe making the playoffs, but losing maybe round 1. That seemed to be where the bulk of what a lot of Chicago Bears fans felt. And then also some of the discussions that I've had with them in the comments, it was just kind of like, there's just a lot to do. And the Packers and the Lions are obviously good teams and are already established. But now saying that they're going to be last in the NFC North, I'm curious, do you think that they could be last in the NFC North but still be a good team, still show promise? Is it just that this division is such a gauntlet, which I've been calling it a gauntlet? I think this division is brutal, and I think for the next 3, 4, 5, however many years, this division is going to be all the divisional games are going to be can't miss TV. It's just like you're going to want to watch every single game. The Packers versus the Lions, the Vikings versus the Bears versus the Packers. It's just going to be like, oh my God, every single one of these games should be primetime because it's just going to be great teams, physical, divisional, obviously, going head to head for games that really matter, right? They're all going to be good enough to be fighting either for a wild card or the division. And I just think it's just going to be absolutely amazing. I think it's a shame that any of these teams are in this division because it's going to be so hard for them. And if they were in other divisions, it would be a walk in the park. So can they be last? And it's not even saying that the Bears are just not good. It's just saying that these other teams are better and more established. I assume that Bart is talking about if Sam Darnold starts for the Minnesota Vikings. To my knowledge, it seems like unless something has changed recently, I don't know, Sam Darnold will be getting that start. And he is established quarterback. We do finally get to see Sam Darnold with Kevin O'Connell, with an actual legitimate organized franchise, with a legitimate high-level offensive-minded head coach. And so I do believe Sam Darnold will have a tremendous amount of success with Kevin O'Connell. Whether or not that ultimately leads to them being able to win some games and beat out the Bears, I don't know. I'm very high on the Bears. I've said this many times. I think the Bears will make the playoffs. I think Caleb Williams is for real. And I think the Chicago Bears have done a tremendous job to support him. To me, what it really comes down to is, can Caleb Williams play conservative football? Can he just trust the process, trust his defense, and not do all of these a million off-script, crazy wild plays? To me, obviously, I know he's capable of doing that, and he has to do that to explore and figure out what he can and can't do in the NFL. But like I've said in the past, that this team is ready to win now, technically, and the missing link is a great quarterback. And it's like, so Caleb, just, can you be kind of a game manager? And again, still be able to do your game-breaking stuff, but can you rely on just being a good, solid quarterback? Because if you can, then you can win very quickly. If not, then we'll have to find out. We'll see. So it is an interesting statement. I disagree with Bart, but I can see his logic. I do. I really can, because like I said, I do think that Sam Darnold has the potential to actually really kind of have people be like, whoa, who is Sam Darnold? But it's just, it might be a bridge too far for me to see them be last in the NFC North, because I'm looking at this team. I'm looking at what I believe Caleb will be able to do. I think Caleb is already quite mature, more mature than I actually originally thought. He is really focused. He is really focused on being the best quarterback. He has GOAT ambitions. And it sounds funny to say, we're like, oh my God, he hasn't even played a snap in the NFL. And I get that. I do. I understand that. I'm not saying that he is the GOAT or that he's going to be the GOAT, but that's what he wants. He is 100% locked in and wants to ball out. Football is just so important to him. And we've seen other top quarterbacks maybe have those feelings, or maybe not be as good or be great, but like don't have those ambitions, so they don't kind of reach those levels. And I would say that Caleb is the rare situation where not only does he want to be the GOAT and believe that he could be the GOAT, but he has the requisite athleticism and talent too. That's what you need. I don't care if you want to be the GOAT. If you're not good enough, you're not good enough. Or if you clearly are good enough to be the GOAT, but don't want to be the GOAT, or don't care, or don't believe that you can be the GOAT, you're not going to be the GOAT. You need this insane level of belief and talent and work ethic. And I think Caleb has it all. My mind, I'm sure Baker Mayfield in his mind believed that he could be a top quarterback in the NFL and be the GOAT. He's just not good enough. And that's when you kind of run into some trouble, because what you believe you can do does not coincide with what you can actually do. Then we have other quarterbacks that are unbelievably amazing, but they don't believe what they can do. And you also kind of run into some problems here. You see them lose confidence very quickly and can kind of unravel. I don't think Caleb Williams has that. So I think Caleb can really be special sooner than a lot of people realize. I think it's just, to me, he's just going to be one of the more fascinating watches, of course, being the number one pick and being none other than the Caleb Williams. But I just think that he's really impressed me with his focus, determination, his motivation, what he's looking to accomplish. He is here to ball out. He is here to be the best quarterback that he can be. He just now needs to be supported, specifically in the coaching staff, to be like, we know you want to be the GOAT. We know that you have the ability to truly do things that we've never seen in the NFL and reach levels that people, even in the NFL, could only ever dream of accomplishing. But we got to do the basics. We got to do the basics. There's going to be plenty of games where you're just going to manage it. You're only going to throw 22 times. And guess what? Patrick Mahomes has won Super Bowls only throwing like 23 times. And if it's good enough for the Patrick Mahomes, if it's good enough for the Tom Brady, it's going to be good enough for you. And whether or not that message can be sent to him and drilled into him, and his OC will actually be smart enough to be able to manage games like that, that is, to me, the big question mark. And if all of those boxes are able to be checked this season, which even if they're not, I won't even blame it because he is a rookie. But if they can be checked this season, then there's no chance, zero chance in my mind, that the Bears finish last in the NFC North. If Caleb Williams ends up being a disaster and Shane Waldron's a disaster and Eberflus is not really that good of a defensive head coach and it was just kind of like got a little lucky at the end of last year or whatever, then sure. But outside of that, I'm just not seeing it happening. I'm just not, and I really do think that the Bears will be able to bring this home. But I also don't think that the Minnesota Vikings will be a walk in the park either. I don't. I think it is. It's a brutal division. It is. So even if they do end up coming in last, it won't be this indictment on Caleb Williams or even the Chicago Bears, quite frankly. So a lot of these other young quarterbacks who have had instant success and early success have been able to take advantage of pretty bad divisions or injured teams or easy schedules, whatever it may be. And that is not what the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams have. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Do you think Caleb Williams and the Bears will actually finish last in the NFC North? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.